No, the Fever are not better without Caitlin Clark, but they are better without Caitlin Clark, meaning they're better than they were without Caitlin Clark. May even venture to say they're good without Caitlin Clark, which means they can be great with Caitlin Clark. And it was a great team effort to beat DeWanna Bonner in her return to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Had to feel great for the fans there to see her vanquished and not playing well, and Alyssa Thomas complaining all over the floor. Bonner booed in her return, which is to be expected considering the circumstances in which she left. And the players that have come in for the Fever are much better than Bonner was for them. Ari McDonald has been a revelation. She was great in this one again. And Chloe Bibby looks like a perfect fit. So all in all, Fever fans have to feel pretty damn good about that win. That's the way you would look at it, I think, if you're Indiana. Bonner coming back in, and maybe there's some moments that the fans take extra joy in, or even Caitlin Clark takes a little extra joy in. The block party on DeWanna Bonner that happened in the midst of the game, where you see Lexi Hull with the block, and then the ball gets loose, goes back to Bonner, Natasha Howard with the block, and then we get to the Caitlin Clark. You can see her in the background there celebrating. There's Lexi Hull, who made the great defensive play. The crowd cheering. And Caitlin Clark extraordinarily happy about the events and the play that transpired, as she should be, as all Fever fans, as I said, would be in that scenario. And, that balanced effort I'm talking about, you get it from across the board with Indiana in the play, in the game. Chloe Bibby, who is that fit, who has stepped in and looks like another keeper that the front office has found in the midst of the season. It's kind of funny. Their best acquisitions, other than maybe Sophie and Natasha Howard's, come on, don't get me wrong, have been these additions they made in season. At least, the most astute moves, it seems. Chloe Bibby with that corner three, she can spread the floor for the team. That is something they needed. That stretch four. I've been talking about it forever. That's why she looks like a good fit for Indiana. Then there's Aaliyah Boston, who's just played great all season long. She dominated a bunch of straight points in the fourth quarter, and her ability to just get downhill now is a difference. Just so much quicker, faster this season. Aaliyah Boston taking control. You see the team hyped there. Sophie Cunningham was one of the players who was hyped there. She, of course, gets a 4-point play in this game as well. Another good takeaway for Indiana, whereas the wealth is really spread. And that's something that happened in the game. Good job by Boston with the dribble handoff, and then Sophie knocks it down. Sophie's been on a heater as a shooter for a minute now. It's extended. It's not, a little bit of a spurt. It's an extended stretch of hot shooting for Sophie Cunningham. And then there's Ari McDonald, who I talked about, and she shot the ball well with the Fever. This was just a position they needed so badly, that backup point guard. And now, in the meantime, the starting point guard, again, Aaliyah handling with the dish. This is just beautiful ball movement. Notice I haven't even really talked about Kelsey Mitchell much. Kelsey Mitchell wasn't much of a factor in this game. For the Fever to win without Caitlin Clark, and with Kelsey Mitchell not being much of a factor in the game, is another reason to hang your hat on the victory if you're a Fever fan. Just a lot to like in this one, including defense to offense. They're playing really, really good defense. Stephanie White has this team competing their butts off. And you see it here again. They're spreading the ball around, sharing the ball, playing as a team, and playing good D. Look at that. Jump in the passing lanes by Lexi Hull, ahead to Ari McDonald, who is a blur, gets out in transition and finishes, which left the Phoenix Mercury hanging their heads a little bit. Alyssa Thomas was complaining all over the floor the entire game. I don't about everything. A lot of fouls from the Mercury in this game as well. Those piled up. You can see the dejected nature of Thomas. I think Bonner's in the background of this video complaining to the ref. There you go. Caitlin pumping up Fever fans on the sideline. It's got to be one of the sweetest victories of the season, all things considered. And you got to feel better and better about how the Fever are playing without Caitlin Clark. and how they're coming together and what it could mean for when she is indeed back. One, it buys you more time for her to get back. No rush. Two, it gives everybody there empowered in the meantime. And three, you know what she brings to the table when she is indeed back. Something that Aaliyah Boston spoke about earlier today, just the spreading of the floor, the defensive attention that she requires. But if you look at, the spreading of the wealth for the Fever in this one, Chloe Bibby plus 19 off the bench in just 13 minutes, 10 points. Not afraid to shoot that thing. Damiris Dantas actually got some minutes. A career high for Ari McDonald, 27 points. Sophie Cunningham, another 12 points. Kelsey Mitchell, only 22 minutes in foul trouble. Aaliyah Boston, 22 points, 12 boards. Natasha Howard chipped in as well. Really everybody. Sydney Colson had one of her better games. Lexi Hull has another game where almost nothing in the box score, but her impact is felt out on the floor with the energy and the effort that she plays with. So all in all, I mean, there's nothing but good things. This is what now 3 games in a row for Indiana, not just against bottom feeders anymore. Clearly, Phoenix, since the Bonner acquisition, she's played a little bit better for them, but hasn't gone in the right direction for them as a team. And you could see looking like kind of washed in this one as well. 1 of 4 points. Alyssa Thomas had a big game. She was doing everything for him. Kalia Copper played pretty well too, but other than that, not much for Phoenix. And you could see the frustration there. See the frustration across the board. And as I mentioned, when they do get Caitlin Clark back, there is a difference, right? There is a difference in their attack, and Aaliyah Boston spoke on that.
When you have Caitlin on the floor, everything is automatically spaced. The floor is spaced. Defenses are high end because she comes across half court. You can set an early drag, and there's a deep 3 going up, and there's a great chance she's making it, right? And when she's not on the floor, then obviously it can shrink it a little bit. But I think for us, it's about making sure we get to that second side, that third side, because when you have Kelsey coming downhill fast, going to that left hand, and then you have Sophie Cunningham and Lexi on the wing being able to spray and knock down for 3, it opens up the entire floor. And then obviously that works for the post because they're going to be afraid to double. They're going to be afraid to dig too much because you have shooters all around the perimeter. And so it definitely shrinks a little bit, but I think we've just figured out different ways to score the ball.
And you could see that concerted effort coming through for the Fever, who are scoring the ball and who are winning games, much to the delight, by the way, of Caitlin Clark, of course.